Hello everyone, my name is Marby Castro, PEPED, and I am going to report about the essence and the varieties of law. The essence and varieties of law. It is essentially about ensuring that public authority is bound by and accountable before pre-existing, clear, and known laws. Citizens are treated equally before the law. Human rights are protected. Citizens that can access efficient and predictable dispute. Respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms and their principles. The essence and varieties of law ay binuo para sa mga mamamayan upang magkakaroon ng pagkakapantay. Ang human rights, alam naman natin na ito ay ang karapatang pantao, na kung saan protektado tayo ng gobyerno. At upang maiwasan ang mga krimen laban sa karapatan ng isang tao na kung saan may paggalang. May paggalang sa karapatan at pangunahing kalayaan at sa kanilang prinsipyo. So dito po sa establishing standard, itinatag ito upang may batayan sa paghatol at pamantayan para sa bagong filosopikal na diskarte. Kung saan sa establishing standard, ang paghatol ay kinikilatis ng mabuti ang pag-aaral sa mga pinakamahirap na katanungan na maaaring itanong ng sangkatauhan. Halimbawa, diba sa korte nakikita ng isang abogado ay kinikilatis at tinatanong ang nasasakdal sa pinakamahirap na katanungan. So yan ang tinatawag na establishing standard, sinusuri ng mabuti sa pamamagitan ng paghatol. Establishing standard, a rule or principle that is used as a basis for judgment. They tried to establish standards for a new philosophical approach, an average or normal requirement, quality, quantity, level, grade, etc. His work this week has not been up to his usual standard. Maintaining order. Dito naman pinapanatili ang kaayusan ng lipunan na kung saan nagtutulungan ang pulisya at ang korte. Dahil ang batas ang nagsisilbing daan upang mapanatiling maayos ang ating pamayanan. Ngunit, paano natin makakamtan ang pagiging maayos na pamayanan kung ang mismong nagpapatupad na batas ay siya ang nangunguna sa paggawa ng mga krimen dito sa ating bayan. Kaya sana, ayusin ang judgment system dito sa Pilipinas upang mapanatiling maayos ang ating bansa. Resolving dispute. Dispute resolution or dispute settlement is the process of resolving disputes between parties. The term dispute resolution is sometimes used interchangeably with conflict resolution, although conflicts are generally more deep-rooted and lengthy than disputes. Resolving disputes. Dito sa resolving disputes, ito ay ang paglutas ng pagtatalo gamit ang korte. Kumbaga, kapag tapos na at nahatulan ang isang taong gumawa ng krimen, hindi na pwedeng ibalik pa ito dahil nahatulan na siya. From the word resolving, ginagawa ang process dito upang matapos na ang paghahatol. Protecting liberties and rights. Civil liberties are freedom guaranteed to us by the Constitution to protect us from tyranny, while civil rights are the legal rights that protect individuals from discrimination. You have the right to remain silent. At ang huli, protecting liberties and rights. Pinoprotektahan tayo nito dahil dito makikita ang freedom of speech, na kung saan malaya nating naihahayag ang ating gustong sabihin. Ngunit ilagay natin sa tama. Dahil minsan, ang kalayaan natin sa pagsasalita ay nagsisimulang kalabanin ang gobyerno kahit wala naman tayong alam kung paano ang pagpapatakbo ng ating bayan. Sa rights, ito ay karapatan ng isang tao upang mamuhay o magtrabaho ng payapa na walang nanghuhusga o nananakit na kapwa-tao. The different types of law are eternal law, natural law, human law, and divine law.
Hello everyone, I am Keza Flores, a BEd student. Today I will discuss to you about the eternal law. What is eternal law and what is the essence of it? According to Thomas Aquinas, eternal law was God's perfect plan, not fully knowable to humans. It is the divine wisdom of God which oversees the common good and governs everything. Also, it is God's plan to lead all creation towards God's eternal salvific plan, to be holy and blameless before Him through Jesus Christ. God, as being itself, is able to promulgate such a law as God, the Creator's reason, also perfect wisdom. Everything in nature reflects the eternal law in their own nature. Things act according to their nature, so they derive their proper ends according to the law written into their nature. Eternal law is identical to the mind of God as seen by God Himself. It can be called law because God stands to the universe which He creates as a ruler, thus to a community which He rules. When God's reason is considered as it is understood by God Himself in its unchanging, eternal nature, it is eternal law. The essence of eternal law is to determine the way things such as animals and planets behave and how people should behave. For example, those who are not looking at the sun know it in the effects of its rays. Therefore, we should say that no one except the blessed, who sees God by His essence, can know the eternal law as it is in itself. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Alessandra B. Italia, BE Ed 1A. I'm going to discuss today is all about natural law. What is natural law? Natural law is a philosophical theory that states that humans have certain rights, moral values, and responsibilities that are inherent in human nature. Natural law theory is based on the idea that natural laws are a universal concept and are not based on any culture or customs. Still, it is a way society acts naturally and inherently as human beings. History of natural law. Natural law was initially defined by ancient Greek philosophers such as Aristotle and Plato. Plato did not have any theory on natural law. However, some of his theories involve concept of natural law. On the other hand, Aristotle focused on the distinction between law and nature. It then led to the introduction of natural justice, which can be attributed to the Stoics. Importance of natural law. Natural law is important because it is applied to moral, political, and ethical system today. It has played a large role in the history of political and philosophical theory, and it has been used to understand and discuss human nature. Examples of natural law. The first example of natural law includes the idea that is universally accepted. It includes the idea that is universally accepted and understood that killing a human being is wrong. However, it is also universally accepted that punishing someone for killing that person is right. The idea demonstrates that without the requirement of legislation, such beliefs are something that human beings understood inherently as wrong, without the requirement of law. The second example includes the idea that two people create a child, and they then become the parents and natural caregivers for the child. It is something that natural law theory would explain as natural law because it is inherent without human beings. And any human-made law would not be required for humans to feel as though they need to act as the caregiver for their child.
Good day everyone. My name is Eliza May M. Sitar, first year BE Ed, and I am going to report about the human law. Human laws. Human making specific laws to capture the truths of the natural laws which lead to secondary precepts. Aquinas introduces what he calls the human law, which gives rise to what he calls secondary precepts. This might include such things as do not drive above 70 mph on motorway, do not kidnap people, always wear a helmet when riding a bike, do not hack into someone's bank account. Secondary precepts are not generated by our reason, but rather they are imposed by governments, groups, clubs, societies, etc.
To define human law, a Thomist must refer to natural law. Thomas says that it is from precepts of the natural law as from general and indemonstrable principles that the human reasons need to proceed to certain particular determinations of law. These particular determinations devised by human reason are called human law. Human law can be changed, and occasionally should be changed, but it should not be lightly changed. The reason is that respect for the law is largely a matter of custom or habit, and inessential change undermines this custom. The common good is not served by more finely tuned, theoretical better law if people have less respect for law and follow it less faithfully. Human law are subject to change, according to Aquinas, because experience in practical matter may allow us to improve them. Human law are interesting because while they echo passages in Aristotle, they give a hint of that idea of long-term moral and political progress, which would later become influential during 17th and 18th century Enlightenment. Human law, says Thomas, is not obliged to repress all vices. It is framed for most people who are far from perfect in virtue. It is aimed at the more grievous vices for which the majority can abstain. An example, those which are to those hurt for others. Example, murder, theft, and the like. Were the law to attempt to legislate perfection, it would make people hostile to the law and defeat its purpose. For the same reason, the law does not prescribe all the acts of the virtues, but it does prescribe some acts corresponding to each virtues. For example, some acts that a just man would do are prescribed. Some acts that a temperate person would do are prescribed. Everyone is subject to human law and ought to obey the human law. That is the true human law, that not the occasional perversions of it which sometimes presented as law, but the ruler charged with the stating and enforcing the law is in special position. Normally, he is obliged to follow the law which he himself has stated, but there is nobody over him to judge him in his life. However, he is not exempt, since he will be held accountable by God.
Hello everyone, my name is Lian Perez C. Oreta, taking the course of Bachelor in Physical Education, and my topic was all about divine law. So, what is divine law? Divine laws, a law that believes come directly from God. So, the divine law is the laws that created by God to humans. Here are some examples of divine law, the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments. You shall not have other gods before me. You shall not take the name of Lord in vain. Remember to keep holy the Lord's day. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's good. And that's all for the divine laws. Thank you for watching.